Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Justin here, and today I've got the review for you of the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3, perhaps one of the best budget smartphones that has come out this year. So I have been playing around with the smartphone for quite a few weeks now, in the middle of all my exams, which thankfully are done. And I have to say, in the beginning I wasn't expecting much of it, but as soon as I received it and actually had a hands-on with it, I was quite impressed not only with the build quality, but the overall experience of the smartphone. At just $250, you are getting a 5.5-inch Full HD display with a 401 ppi, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 615 processor, which is quad-core, 2GB of RAM, as well as a 13-megapixel rear-facing camera with the ability to record Full HD video and an 8-megapixel front-facing camera. So at this price, you really cannot complain about these specs. One thing I also wanted to show you was the unboxing experience, which is great. As you can see, there is the slide to unlock. And opening it up, it presents you with all of the special features of the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3, and of course the phone itself, the specs, and the accessories. Picking up the device for the first time, it was a great feeling to the hand. It is a nice brushed look and feel, and seems to be extremely durable. Of course, you do have your Idol branding as well as the Alcatel OneTouch logo on the bottom. And taking a look at the device from the side, it measures in at 7.4 millimeters thick, it is 152.7 millimeters tall, and 75.1 millimeters wide, and it weighs in at a total of 141 grams. On the bottom left, you'll find your micro USB port and microphone, and on the left side, you'll find your sleep wake button, and on the right side, you have your volume rockers, which, to be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of. I just found it to be placed a little bit too high, and it was a little bit hard to reach at times, so it would have been nice if they had placed it where the SIM card slot is. Moving on to the display, I have the 5.5-inch model here, however it does also come in a 4.7-inch variant, and it has a resolution of 1920 by 1080 with a PPI of 401. But the display itself looks beautiful with its 16 million colors, and the touch is also very responsive. You've also got some pretty impressive viewing angles, and from looking at the display, you will see that the colors are very vibrant, everything looks very sharp, and that 1920 by 1080 resolution is great. As you know, a lot of budget smartphones out there seem to lack in the display department, but the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 has a great display to say the least. And from using it, if I hadn't have told you, I'm sure you wouldn't have guessed that this is a $250 smartphone. Moving on to the software, the Idol 3 runs the latest version of Android 5.0 Lollipop, which is another category where a lot of budget smartphones seem to be behind on. On the Idol 3, you could see that it does have its own skin from Alcatel from the look of the icons, and personally, I think that they have a pretty nice look to it. However, it does make it look a little bit like the easy mode on the Samsung devices. The icons are huge and everything seems to be very easily accessible and simple, flat looking, but that's my opinion and it's pretty much up to you whether you like the skin or not. Of course, you do have your multitasking window, as you can see, clearing up all my apps. You also do have Google Now, of course, integrated as on every Android device. In terms of the notification tab, it is pretty much like stock Android. You do have your quick toggle settings with information on the top, keeping it out of the way with your notifications. But as you slide down even more, it will show all of your quick toggle settings, and of course there is your settings app itself. Generally speaking though, aside from some of the visual aspects they have made to the stock apps and stuff like that, this is pretty much a stock Android experience, and you will notice that in the camera app as well. But from using the device itself, I would say that Alcatel did a very good job in terms of the software, and by toning it down, it will allow it to use up all of the resources and function as good as possible. But I will admit that occasionally I did notice a stutter here and there, but that wasn't very often. The Idol 3 features a 13-megapixel rear-facing camera with the ability to record Full HD video. One complaint I do have off the bat though is that camera is located so close to the edge of the phone that you often do find yourself covering it up with a finger when you're trying to hold the device. The camera itself performed well in well-lit situations, however in lower light situations you can see that there is definitely a pretty big amount of noise. Generally speaking though, the camera was okay, but really nothing amazing. The 8-megapixel front-facing camera was pretty average as well. When it came to the video quality though, I was extremely disappointed. It records 1080p, but from looking at this video, you will see that there really just isn't a nice amount of sharpness to it, and I even had to check my video clip if I was recording in 1080p. So at this price point, I would say that if you're just taking photos here and there, it works just fine, but in terms of the video quality, it is quite disappointing. Another feature that Alcatel has gotten right though is the front-facing speakers, and I've said this video after video, why doesn't every manufacturer do this? They may be small, but they are located on both edges of the smartphone, which is better than any speaker that could be placed on the back, so this is just a quick test. Battery life on the Idol 3 was also great. It was easily able to get through a day and a little bit into the second day, and that is thanks to a 2910 mAh battery. And being one of the smartphones that does not have a QHD display, that definitely contributes to the battery life savings. That pretty much wraps it up for my Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 review though, and I will say for $250 it is an absolute no-brainer. If you've got $250 to spend and you're looking for a smartphone, you really can't go wrong with this one. You've got a nice camera, front-facing speakers, a great display, a nice form factor and look to the device, and of course the budget price off contract. But other than that, a huge thanks to Alcatel for setting this out for reviewing purposes, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, and the links to more information and purchase will be down in the description section as always, and I'll see you all in the next video.